All right, confession time. So I've been sitting on this one all day. I had a lot of driving around today. We are moving house at the moment. They're selling the house that we live in. We are renting, and so we're looking to find a new place to live. So I drove all around the mountains today looking for a house, and so I had a lot of time to contemplate things during that time. And this thing just kept coming up in my mind over and over and over again. And that is that I'm a liar. That for over a decade now, I have been lying to everyone, literally everyone all around me. And part of what I'm doing here, part of this reaction to like what's going on in my life and what 126 is, to chasing greatness, to this whole thing, is that I just cannot do it anymore. And that was part of it when I first did this back in 2022. And then life came back again. I had that first true awakening during COVID because, we were in this isolation and I was able to truly witness, you know, and take stock of my life. And it's now finally come to the precipice that, yeah, I am a liar. I spend every day masking, covering up who I am, truly who I am, and can't do it anymore. And so let me give you a bit of backstory. So when I was 21, I nearly died. That's a long fucking story, but I was playing basketball. I was playing college basketball in America. Got really, really fucking sick. Didn't have insurance to go to hospital in America. Took me about 2.5 weeks to fly home. Eventually flew home, and during that time, I nearly died due to this infection, the staph infection that I had. It got into my bloodstream. Whole story. Maybe I'll go into it one day, but it's not important. Anyway, that sent me into a spiral, depression, all that kind of stuff. Eventually pulled my shit together. Realized my basketball dream was essentially over, and decided to move on to the next thing, which my thing had always been fitness. I'd loved fitness. I, started lifting when I was 14. I got qualified as a personal trainer when I was 17. While I was in college, I worked as a strength and conditioning coach, and I trained the athletes that I was there with. This has been my whole life. And that's always what I wanted to do. I wanted to train athletes. I wanted to train people at the top tier, like people who would do the work, who had that work ethic like I did, who loved to fucking be pushed and to be challenged and to be driven by this. And then things got tipped on the head. My basketball career ended. My whole dreams ended. Everything came crashing down. I was suddenly living in my parents', house again. And I'd nearly died. It took me months to recover. And, it turned out to be a blessing in disguise. I then, during this time period, met my wife. I've been with my wife since we were 21. Um, you know, Best thing that's ever happened to me, meeting that beautiful woman. But, it's hard when you're in the thick of depression and everything. It's hard to look at that. It took me a while to come out of that. Anyway, so on the back end of that, I went and got a job working as a PT. Fucking awful, awful thing. And I was like, no, I cannot do this. I've got to do my own thing. So I opened my own personal training studio when I was 21, 11 years ago. And that started this journey. And I have been very successful with that. As I've run this gym for 11 years. It provides for my entire family. I retired my wife when she had our daughter. I told her that when we had kids, that was it. She was done. She could be a stay-at-home mum. And that's what I did. But here's the problem with that, especially back then, I was in survival mode. I just needed to make fucking money. My first year, I made like $14,000. My rent was $16,000. I wasn't fucking making any money. So I did what had to be done to make money. So for the last decade, I have been training middle-aged women because that's, where the money was. It's not that it's something I was aiming for, but I help middle-aged women lose weight. And I'm fucking phenomenal at it. I'm probably one of the best, definitely in my area, if not in my state, at this. I am, like, once I decide to do something, I'll go all in. And that's what I did. I went all in. And as I said, I am fucking amazing at it. I deliver incredible results. And as evident by, I've got a very successful business. And, I look after my family and my wife. And I had staff until they left, on this business. This is what I do for a living. But that's not me. I spend every day masking who I am. I had to cater to who those people were. And that's part of being a man. You have to provide. You have to provide for your family. You have to step up and do that work. And that's what I've done. But every day there are these moments where I am biting my tongue because being truly who I am and saying the things that I believe would greatly upset them. I would lose the majority of my clients. They need to be gently cared for and nurtured along, and these kinds of things of like, like, it's all right to not really push yourself, and I have to kind of like just put my hands up and be like, well, you're an adult, you make your own decisions, and yet who I am is like, no, we are all in. It's about pushing as hard as you fucking can and then pushing some more. It's about doing the work. It's about showing up and working your fucking ass off. It's about setting these standards and then seeing if you can exceed them. It's about finding new ways to push yourself, not being like, oh, well, that was good enough. Showing up's most of the battle. Like, you could be sitting on the couch. And don't get me wrong, there is 100% a place for it, as evidenced by I have delivered incredible results for these people doing it this way. But that is not who I am. I want to do work with people who want to be pushed, who want to be driven, who want to see what is possible when you go all in, when you commit 100% to yourself with this zero choice mentality. This is what 126 is, because that's who I am as an essence of a person. I am all or fucking nothing. And it took a lot of like this eating away at me, and then, as I said, it took to these points, seeing my daughter to, probably talk about it at some point. I ended up in hospital with a heart condition because I just wasn't fucking looking after myself. And like, these things that when you look into the face of what you truly want and resistance calls and you bow to resistance, it eats away at who you are. It eats away at your soul. It eats away at your character. And for a decade, I have been that. I have been, too scared. Like, there have been multiple attempts to break out from this because I knew that this is not what I wanted to do. This is not who I was. And I tried to do other businesses, but I didn't commit. I didn't really go all in because, well, I was comfortable. I was making good money. Like, before kids, we were traveling, we were doing things. Like, life was pretty comfortable, and I was young and naive, and I made lots of fucking mistakes. And though I constantly had this vision of like where I was heading and what I was going to do, it was just like one day, and I kept making these promises to my wife that we would do this, and it was like we'd never worry about money and we would have this incredible life. And it never really happened, predominantly because I wasn't invested. Like, I didn't actually enjoy the work. It was such a grind. And like, don't get me wrong, I like training clients and I deliver good results. And as I said, my life is fucking amazing. But I know that I am destined for so much more. And starting 126 again, and this journey that I've been on there have been all these, wake up moments of going, shit, I really have been playing small. I really haven't been living up to who I am and my potential in this. And I started this because basically, on the vainest of levels, I was deeply fucking unhappy physically. And I needed to shift. I needed to go all in back on my health and fitness. But on the top of that, I was like, well, I'm not happy with who I am as a man either. So, you know, we need to, I need to start making that. I need to keep my word. I need to be an honest version of myself. I need to be authentic. And that's part of these videos, is that I can be authentic. I can be raw, and I can share this. And there, as I said, there were some wake up calls on that. I was talking to a friend and mentor of mine who holds, I hold in incredibly high esteem. And I mentioned to him that he's like, how's things going? And I'm like, I think I want to do this. And he said to me, he's like, I always thought that you were meant for more than what you've been doing with those ladies. And I was like, fuck. Even others can see that I've been playing small. And there has been these moments like this, and realizing that, this is authentically who I am. And I can share this in this platform because this is who this is aimed for. I can share who I'm meant to be and who I'm becoming through this process. And that's what I want to share on this journey, that I share with you as I, not just develop my physique and my discipline and all that kind of stuff, but the man I'm becoming, so that I can share this with you and I can hopefully inspire you and, create something of value with this. And to be honest, I'm going to share something here because I know that there isn't many people watching yet. So I know that I can share this even though I haven't really said this out loud yet. But by the end of this year, this is going to be my thing. Don't know how, don't know what, but I'm going to sell my gym. As I said, I've run a very successful gym for 11 years, but I'm going to sell that. And I'm going to do this full time. I don't, in what capacity? I have no fucking clue. How I'm going to sell my gym? I don't know. To who? I have no fucking clue. But 2024 is the last year I work in that gym. And this is the beginning of authentically being me. And as I said, I'm going to put it out here so I can call back to this video at the end of this year when I make this shit happen. As I said, I have no idea how I'm going to do it, but I am a man on a mission now, and that is what's fucking happening. I am going to get this done. End of story. Unquestionably going to get this done. And yeah, so I'm putting it out into the universe that it's going to happen. But like everything, zero choice mentality. It's now done. It is happening. I've said it. It is out in the universe. This is what's happening. And I'll bust my ass and I'll work it out, and I will let the universe and the law of action make the rest come to me. But I think this is the problem as well for a lot of people. So there's two parts that I think on this. One, that, we get to a stage in life where we are too risk adverse. I was always the guy who I would risk it all. I had no risk aversion. I had such immense level confidence that I would work it out, that it didn't matter what it looked like, that I would fucking work it out. And I still have that. But you get to a point where you have a house, you have a wife, you have a lifestyle, you have things, and then you have kids. And suddenly you're like, no. It's no longer worth the risk because you have too much to lose. And I fell into that trap, and I completely understand it, because you do. You have so much to lose. When you are the sole breadwinner and provider for your family, when you have everything on the line, yeah, that's a lot to fucking lose. You have a lot of people relying on you. But it means you stop authentically being you. You stop being you as a man because you don't have the confidence that you can fucking pull it off. And so this is part of it, that I've got to pull the band-aid off. I have to have the confidence that I'm going to pull this off, that my family is not only going to be all right, but we are going to be better off than before. And I know that for a fact because I'm stepping into who I am authentically. And as I said, this is what 126 to Greatness is about, that it delivers this confidence to do this. And fuck, I'm not even a month in. Like, I've got literally 100 days to go as of today. But that's all right, because it's starting to build that confidence in me. Wait till you see me at the end of 126 days. You see the man I am and the confidence that I have in myself and my capacity. And this is what it's what it's all about. And the other thing I think that we have a problem with is that we reach these points and we just give up on that. That potential that we had inside is like, oh well, that's a young man's game. Not that I'm a fucking old. I'm still young as shit. I'm not even, a third of it through my life. To be honest, we'll chuck it out there again. I plan to live to 120. Again, how? Haven't quite figured that shit out, but we'll get there. So I'm at a quarter of my life. There is a lot to go. And this is that thing that, we just reach a point and we just let all that die. And so then we die. And so we have this slow trudge to death because we have no value in our life anymore. If we're not pursuing something greater, if we're not seeing what we are capable of, what's the point? Like, if you're not pushing yourself to see how great you can be, what's the point of life? You're just showing up and reliving every day. And, it doesn't have to be, being a millionaire, billionaire. It doesn't have to be being this global juggernaut or ridiculously shredded in shape. It's just about your level of your greatness and pushing to see what that is. Where's the passion? Where's the joy? Where's the purpose in your life? And I truly believe that it is your duty, your honor, and your privilege to pursue your greatness as a man, to see what is possible out there, and to wake up every day and to go, fuck yeah, let's see what challenges I can conquer today. There is a ridiculous sense of accomplishment when you go out all day and you work in the face of this, and you come home and you go, yeah, I gave it everything I had and we did good today. And, about truly, authentically living who we are. And I see so many of my friends, not that I have heaps, so many. I'm one of those people who has a very small inner circle that it takes a lot to truly, truly be in my inner circle friend. And I think that is something about that, but those are the people that I would move heaven and earth for once you reach that point. But there are moments where I look at them and go, I don't know if you're authentically living your best life. And there's been a bit more of that lately where I'm like, maybe true friendship is saying that. Not just supporting them through that, but saying that. And more I think it is. It's giving the truth. It's giving the harsh truths when you don't want to hear it. That you are capable of more. Not only that, you should be doing more, and that you are wasting these gifts that you have been giving, this potential, this life. If you're just playing small, you need to authentically step into who you are. And every day as I do this process, as I find myself more and more, I feel more authentically stepping into who I am as a man. And as I said, like at the beginning of this, a lot of this is just, I'm here to talk, to, work through this. I'm talking through this experience, as documenting this journey as I go through it all, and to refine that process. And this is a pretty good one for me. Like, I feel unburdened because I can say those things. I can say that, just showing up is none of the battle. You have to do the fucking work. And it's not just going through the posters. It's working, like showing up with intention and fucking working at it. This is why I needed a new program, because I was pushing myself, but it was easy for me. Like, I got to the end of it and I was like, whatever. I needed something more to push myself to get out of my comfort zone to see where I could end up. And that's the whole process. So I'm authentically shedding that mask that I've been wearing, that I want to be able to tell you that, you're not working hard enough, that you're not doing it. And not from a place of like, oh, I am better than you, but a place of like, let's fucking go together. Let's grind together. Let's do this work together, because I want to be able to lead by example. And, that's why we're starting here. That's why we're documenting this, 126 days to see where I end up, so that I can share with you that this is the way, not from theory, not from, even experience of doing it for others, which is a valid thing, but experience from living it. My motto has always been, I will never give you something that I have not personally done. I will never tell you to do something that I have not personally suffered through or done more than. Because how can I authentically be like, yeah, this will be good? And I don't know. If I've never done it, I don't fucking know. So, yeah, I feel unburdened. I feel enlightened. I feel excited that I've made that commitment, that within this year, I will be into the next phase of my life, that I'll be living authentically in every aspect of my life. Because every time I do anything related to 126 to greatness, I'm authentically me. When I post, when I share, when I record these videos, when I'm thinking about, like, this is all I think about. I go for these walks and this is what's playing through my mind. I'm driving home and this is what's going on. I listen to podcasts and I'm like, oh, that's a great idea for this. Like, let's go try this. This is where my head's at. This is what lights me up. This is what fuels me. This is what excites me. And this is me, and this is what I love, and this is what I want to spend my life doing, is helping men transform their life like this, sculpting that character, that man they were meant to be, to find, their greatness, because you are duty, honor, and privilege bound to make that fucking happen. Do not let yourself down. Do not let your family down. Do not let your community down. Do not let others down by playing small. It is time for us to play big. It is time for us to step up and spend the rest of our lives chasing this greatness, because that is what a man is called to do, to spend his life in pursuit of something greater than himself, to provide that value and to see where it ends up. So that's all I have for you. And I will be back tomorrow with more of these ponderings thoughts. That's day 26 in the bag. Talk to you soon.